Hi everyone, I'm back at Plum Island at the south end, Sandy Point Reservation. Today I'm just here for some focus birding, looking for some specific birds. We've had a big nor'easter storm come through over the past few days and the winds have blown in a lot of terns and gulls. There is a large flock of Bonaparte's gulls present and also one little gull that was brought in with them. Now, little gull is a European vagrant, quite rare in Massachusetts or anywhere in the United States, and it is a lifer for me. So no suspense, I've already seen the birds, I've already photographed them, so success on this short trip here. So this is gonna be a more focused video just on those birds. Gonna have some footage of the Bonaparte's gulls and the lifer little gull. I think we're just going to leave it at that because I really have limited time to bird today. I wasn't planning to come over here. It's one of those opportunities that come up and I've made a quick run over here. So please enjoy the footage and I'll see you in the next one. In the aftermath of the powerful storm, the beach at the southern tip of Sandy Point was churned up and covered with seaweed and other debris, providing plenty of food for this flock of about 100 Bonaparte's gulls. At this point in the year, they're in the process of molting into their summer breeding plumage, and there was a lot of variety in their appearance, with some in winter plumage with white heads, some in summer plumage with black hoods, and many in intermediate stages of molt. This one has finished its molt and now has the characteristic black hood with white eye arcs. This Bonaparte's gull in flight is in winter plumage, showing a mostly white head with a small black spot behind the eye. And this one obviously is in full breeding plumage. The red collar inside the bill is kind of a nice touch. Someone was kind enough to point out the little gull to me when I arrived. It was hanging out just offshore and doing these funny little flying hops out of the water. It was great to pick up another lifer in my home state. This is my third life bird in Massachusetts this year, with the others being varied thrush and Swainson's hawk. Those two species are found in western North America, whereas little gull is a Eurasian bird, as you can see on this range map from All About Birds. Little gulls do occasionally nest in North America, as you can see a little bit of pink color in the Great Lakes region. Little gulls show up in Massachusetts as fairly regular vagrants, with a few being seen every year. This individual is a first summer bird, meaning that it was born last year and is currently molting into its adult breeding plumage for the first time. Eventually it came all the way out of the water and started walking around, giving me fantastic close-up looks. Like most gulls, it wasn't shy at all, and in fact, all of these gulls completely ignored the small group of birders standing nearby pointing cameras and scopes at them. Here you can see that the little gull is noticeably smaller than the Bonaparte's gulls, with a more delicate bill. In fact, little gull is the smallest gull in the world. At one point, the whole flock of Bonaparte's gulls took off and flew around in a tight flock. I don't recall seeing such organized flocking behavior from gulls before, and it was fun to watch. Eventually, they all settled back down on the same stretch of beach and continued feeding. They were clearly restless, however, and I believe they all departed from this location within the next few hours. Shortly after leaving Sandy Point, I got word that another good bird was being seen in the salt pans at the north end of the refuge, a tricolored heron. I immediately hustled straight over there. Fortunately, I was able to find it right away. This bird had been hanging around Plum Island off and on for a few weeks, but it hadn't been around during any of my visits until now. It looks a bit like a great blue heron, but it's even slimmer and feeds more actively. Massachusetts is the very northern extent of their range, and they're quite uncommon here. It was neat to see it running around and feeding so actively for a few seconds. The more common heron species we have in Massachusetts tend to feed more passively, waiting for the prey to come to them. It gave me great looks, as you can see, but after just 5 minutes or so, it flew south and out of sight of the road, and birders who showed up right after I did weren't able to see it. A little advice if you're a less experienced birder. When you hear about a good bird that you want to see, don't waste any time getting there, and when you show up at the location, if there are other birders there, immediately ask them if they're on the bird. The white belly contrasting with darker back and neck is a good field mark for tricolored heron. Now it's getting ready to take off. And there it goes, flying out of sight. So that's it for this episode. I'll be back with a longer episode next week. As always, thanks for watching.